return to another episode of Weddings Unscripted. Once again, you'll notice that I do not have Ginny here with me. Instead, I have a very special guest host today. Ginny is on maternity leave currently. Today, I've got with me Kari Roberts, who is one of our former WBA students and is a makeup artist in the wedding industry. And we're going to talk about some fun topics today. So first, welcome, Kari. And you want to go ahead and just introduce yourself and tell everyone a little bit more about your story and your business.
Sure. I'm Kari Roberts. I'm a makeup artist based out of Atlanta, Georgia. And my first name is Kari. Little tidbit. I don't even know if I told you this. There's 13 people in my family that all have K names. So
really?
Yeah. So if you're from my family, you know that starts with a K, but most people don't know that. So it's Kari Roberts, MUA, which stands for makeup artist. That's my website. That's my Instagram. That's my Facebook, my Pinterest, my everything. So that's that. I've been in business for 5.5 years officially. And I primarily do regular people for special occasions, photo shoots, weddings. And this year I'm really trying to kick off my one-on-one and virtual makeup lessons.
Love it. And I love that your kind of makeup style is very natural. It's making people look like a better version of themselves, but not completely overdone, which I think is great.
Yeah. I really don't like it when people say your makeup looks good after I do the makeup. I really want people to say you look good, because makeup, I really believe that makeup is like an accessory and it should just enhance what's already there. And it shouldn't be like standing alone by itself. So yeah, I do natural makeup when, beat faces in right now on Instagram and people drawing on eyebrows and everything is super bold, but yeah, my style is very much natural.
I love that. That's amazing. Now, one of the things I really wanted to talk to you about today, because I know in the wedding industry, especially in all of the kind of online communities and everywhere else, people are always sort of striving to quit their full-time job and go full-time in the wedding industry. And you're someone where we've always, Ginny and I have loved kind of talking to you about this. You're currently happy to be working in your full-time job and doing makeup as your side business. And I'd love to hear a little bit more about your decision there and why for now that's the best choice for you.
Well, when I started the WBA, I was kind of like, what am I going to do with this business? And then I was learning much. I was learning so much and I was rubbing shoulders with new people and everybody seemed like they were moving towards leaving their full-time job. So I even was like, okay, maybe I want to do this. And I remember you and I had a conversation. That was the first time I'm like, I don't think I want to move full-time. I think I like it the way that it is. For a few reasons. I'm a physical therapist for my full-time job. So I really fundamentally enjoy helping people get better, helping people feel better. That's something that I do with makeup and with physical therapy. But then also, I have some chronic health issues. And so insurance is a necessity.
Yes.
And at one time, I was a floating therapist, which means I got paid a little more per hour, but I did not have any benefits. And I was doing this actually when I first met you guys. I was putting enough money aside to cover like my own personal paid days off. I was putting money aside. We were paying for our insurance out of pocket, trying to put money aside for the medications and testing that I need on a regular basis. And it really took a lot of joy away.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was in a rat race. It just didn't feel good.
Yeah.
And what I started doing was just owning the fact that I'm like a passionate person. I love makeup and I love physical therapy and I can do them both. So I ended up just being a little bit more vocal with people in all aspects of my life, that I do have this side business. I am a makeup artist and I can enhance your natural beauty, but we're going to have to do it in evenings and weekends because that's when I'm available. And since I mostly deal with regular people and not in the industry of film or TV production, I don't have to necessarily be available during the week, during office hours, because most of my clients are working also. So it was kind of a natural transition, but it took me a while to get in that headspace. Like I really had to like write it down and see what's making me happy, what's making me feel stressed out, and what's the best decision for me. So right now, working full-time, carrying my benefits takes a world of stress off me. And then I can just still manage my my special occasion and makeup business on the side.
I love that. I think it's amazing that you kind of recognize that it just relieves all that pressure for you. So then you can enjoy the makeup more and enjoy working with brides more, because you don't have that added stress of like, I have to make this work, I have to make ends meet. And that can be super stressful for so many people in our industry. So I think it's great that you've decided that for you, it makes more sense to do both because you love both of your jobs. And hopefully that inspires some people to realize that, you know, if you do have another full-time job, that's okay. And if you enjoy your full-time job, that's great. You don't necessarily have to make your wedding business your full-time business.
Exactly. Yeah. And I've actually connected with people in the Facebook group and in other groups that are in the same page. Because I mean, most of the people want to do it full-time, which there's nothing wrong with that. But those of us that don't, it's like, do we have a home? Do we have a niche?
Everyone out there is just like striving for like,
full-time. Like hashtag quit your full-time job. Exactly. And I hashtag can't do that. So, so it was good. Once I started kind of owning it for myself and putting it out there, it's interesting because the clients, because I used to try to hide it from clients. And now it's like, it's on my website. It's not a secret. I talk about it in my Instagram stories. So now I get conversations of, wow, you must really love to do makeup if you're doing this on your free time, or you must really be passionate about it. You must have really put forth a lot of work if you're doing it on the side. So what I thought was going to be a negative, ends up being a pretty good positive.
I love that. So don't, if you're someone in the same position, don't feel like you have to have all this shame. You have to hide the fact that you have a full-time job. I love that by putting it out there, it's actually made people realize that you really do love makeup and you aren't just doing this for a buck. You're doing this to enjoy it, which is great. So how do you juggle this? Because that's got to be, probably a lot of people wonder is like, how do you structure your days and weeks so that you can have enough time? Obviously you're doing a lot of weddings on the weekends, but also have enough time to work on your business as well.
Okay, well, I am type A, so I have I'm like, should I bring it out? I do have a planner, and I have this, my weekly kickstart,
weekly kickstarts,
which is pretty blank because I was traveling last week, so I'm giving myself a permission to not have it filled. But overall, and I also do religious volunteer work too, which is important to me. So what I do I'll do it this weekend for February, but I will kind of do a bird's eye view of the month and plot out when I'm going to do my volunteering.
Love it.
Then I actually just transitioned. So now I work 32 hours a week. So my Thursdays are open for whatever is important at the time. Great. So I'll fill when I'm going to do my volunteering. I'll decide how much of the Thursdays I'm going to give to my makeup business, which is usually like 2 to 3 hours every other week. And then, of course, I've got my full-time job, which is like pretty much Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. And then anything that's going on personally with girlfriends or with my husband or just me, whatever, I will put all that on the calendar first. So then, and actually to keep me sane, that all comes first. Spiritual goals, personal goals, marriage goals, that all comes priority. And then the makeup business gets filtered in wherever I have space. So, and my friends know, if you want to hang out with me, it sounds crazy, but like if you want to go out to lunch or you want to go to the movies, like give me at least 2 weeks notice so I can get it on my calendar. That way I'm blocked off. I won't have to worry about client calls. I won't have to worry about a wedding or anything like that. It's like, if I'm not available, I'm not available. So then I kind of
cram everything in. So I'm like, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but like I will fill my time somehow. So, get on my calendar early so that I can have that time.
And birds of a feather flock together. So even though I don't have entrepreneurial friends, a lot of us are type A and work off a calendar anyways.
There you go.
So it works out pretty good. So that's that's the way I kind of prioritize my month. And then on a weekly basis, so then I'll say, okay, I've got 2 Saturday mornings open and maybe all 4 Saturday afternoons open. So ideally, wedding clients will book me 1 or 2 months in advance. So that'll already be on my calendar. But the last minute people or makeup lessons that don't get booked out way out in advance, or like a photo shoot with the family or something, those might be a shorter window. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, I've got a couple of Saturdays to play. I will only work on Sundays if I really like the client or if I worked with them in the past. It's got to be like a special reason, because Sunday I use to just kind of have as in all honesty, Sunday is the day that I do my grocery shopping. I do my meal planning.
You need that day of the week.
I plan out for the week, yada, yada, yada. So when I get to Sundays, I'll look and see, okay, how many times a week do I plan on exercising, how many times a week if me and my husband might have to regroup about something. So that gets scheduled on a weekly basis. And then when it comes to daily, I go back to my calendar, my planner, and on a daily basis, I try to block schedule. Like, okay, so the days I go to the gym, it's like, this is when I'm going to the gym. This is when I'm getting ready for work.
Yep.
This is when I'm working. This is when I'm cooking dinner. And then I might have 2 or 3 hours that's blank. And then I'm like, okay, Monday and Tuesday is going to be work. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is going to be nothing, or business. And then those days are going to be nothing. Or if I have a networking thing on Tuesdays, like I'm going to Tuesdays together, then I'm like, okay, I don't want to do Tuesdays together in the evening and work on my business Monday night. My husband will feel like, what are you doing?
You might feel left out.
So I might just do Tuesdays together and maybe work on my business later on in the week when I know he's not going to be here, or he might be playing basketball with his friends or something like that. So that's how I kind of do it.
I love it.
It's a lot, but it's like I go from month to week to day.
Start big and then carve it down to make sure you have time for, the full-time job, plus actually working with clients, plus actually having time to work on your business. And of course, free time, because that's important too.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Love it. Well, kind of one other thing I wanted to talk about. So you obviously are one of our WBA students, and I'd love to hear more about, for you, what was sort of that thing that made you want to join the Wedding Business Academy? What was sort of the catalyst for you where you said, okay, this is something I definitely want to pursue, and it's definitely for me?
Okay, so I was a part of the Rising Tide Society. I was getting monthly or weekly or whatever emails. And that was when I was like, and I was also frustrated because I was not getting clients that would want to pay for my services. But I'm like, I'm worth it. So I was kind of at a crossroad. I think I was 4 years in. And I felt like I had like nothing to show for it. It was going to be another year where I wasn't going to make profit. And I had been exposed to all these different ideas from the Rising Tide that I never knew existed. And I'm like, I think I need a coach. So I started looking up coaches, and I looked up this one coach, and I'm like, there's no way I can afford that. And then, so I just kind of kept putting stuff out there, and somehow or another I came across you guys on Instagram. So I read it up because I'm a nerd and I'll read stuff from beginning to end. So I read it all, and I'm like, I think this is what I need. It's 6 months, and it's covering all these things, and I think it can help me. And it was affordable. If I did the monthly payments, I felt for a side hustle, it was affordable. So it was so funny because I remember I'm like, I have to apply. Like, what if I don't get chosen?
We do an application process, but it's more because we want to make sure that, first of all, everyone that is interested is really kind of ready. Like, they're going to do the work, and they're going to, put their mind to this. So I think that really helps, by having people go through an application process, making sure they're serious and they are ready to execute. Because as you know, going through it, you could sit around on the educational workshops all day long and just take it all in. But if you're not going to actually execute on the things you're learning and do the homework and implement changes in your business, it's not going to do much for you. So we always want to make sure that everybody that is applying is serious about it, and that it will be a good, like, everyone's sort of a good match of that. We kind of find many of our students are in that same window that you were. They're a few years in, they're realizing, okay, I've got some experience and all that, but I need to start making money at this, or I need to take it to the next level, or a couple pieces I'm missing that I need to like solidify to get me to the next place. And so we like to make sure that everyone's kind of in that same sort of range.
Right. But the application process, since I was like, I might not get accepted because I just don't know, it did force me to talk to my husband. I'm like, okay, I'm going to pretty much be like going to business school for my makeup business. And I'm like, if I'm going to, it's like a couple hours a week with the classes, and I'm going to have homework, and I'm going to have to implement. And I was like, if that's something that you think can work with our household, then I would like to go ahead. And he, of course, was like, if it's either this or quit your makeup business, then definitely, go ahead and do it. So, so I applied, and I was very diligent because I really wanted to get my money's worth. And I knew I worked a full-time job, and I had this side business I was trying to build. And this was going to be more time away from other things. And I'm married and I don't have children. We have dogs, but we don't have kids. So a lot of downtime is my husband and I. So when I'm doing stuff that's makeup related, it's usually taking away time from us. So it was very important to me that if I was going to do it from a financial perspective, but then also from a marriage perspective, I really wanted to give my all so I can get as much out of it so that it could be worth it.
I love that. And that's so important. If you're going to do any, educational program or any sort of investment for your business, if you're paying all this money and taking the time, execute, make it worth it. Make sure you're going to go all in and you're really going to treat it with the respect that it needs and really help your business. Cause I agree. I think that's one of the problems in our industry, or just the online, entrepreneur industry in general, is people love to throw their money at courses, products, any that, they want the quick fix for their business. They want, the easy thing. But if you're not going to take the time to really learn and execute and implement, it's just not going to be worth it, unfortunately.
Right.
So I love that you were so intentional about carving out time, so intentional about your schedule. And that's where I think it's amazing. And both Ginny and I were kind of blown away that you had a full-time job through the whole thing, and you still were on, every single call. You would always be there, in your car watching person classes, workshops on your lunch break. And I was always like, I love how dedicated she is, that she is really, doing everything she can to be on every single call and take in all the information, even though you had a full-time job. So I think it was awesome.
Yeah. And it's like, I love being a makeup artist, but I love having my own business, like something that's mine, something that I created, and I can do my own policies and procedures. So it's like, I like all of that nerdy stuff that goes with the business.
That's basically why I started a business, was the same thing. Like yes, I liked planning weddings, but I loved the businessy things too. Like I was like, ooh, I get to put together a business manual. I get to write a business plan. This is so fun. Like I'm
right. Yeah.
Well.
Yeah. So I'm like, well, Kari Roberts Makeup Artist is a real business. So yes, I got to start treating it like a business. So these are conference calls. These are not just, call with so-and-so. It's like, this is school. This is work. This is help me.
Yes.
So I got to be there.
I love it. Well, thank you so much, Kari, for sharing your story, because I think this is something, both Ginny and I thought a lot of people might want to hear, especially people who are always feeling that, just like you, like, oh, everybody seems to be, feel like you have to quit your full-time job. I don't know if I want to quit my full-time job. Hopefully this was helpful for all of you out there. And I'm going to put a link to your Instagram handle and everything else in the description box so people can go follow you. And Kari also has a YouTube channel as well, where she talks about makeup, which I love. I'm sort of a undercover like beauty and skincare junkie. So I love watching Kari's videos. So I encourage you guys also to subscribe to her channel and follow her over there. But thank you again. Of course, Ginny is sad that she couldn't be on this call, but we're so glad that you're able to guest host with me today. And hopefully I will see you in we have many now, WBA Facebook groups. I'll see you in there soon. So thanks again, Kari.
Oh yeah, thank you for having me.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe. And if you want more information about the Wedding Business Academy, you can find a link to sign up for our email list on the Wedding Business Bosses website. All right. So we'll talk to you all soon. Awesome.